Hello and welcome to GatherVerse Men's Health Summit Day 2. And we are sponsored by Pico, but also we have an amazing fireside chat here with the amazing Anish. And we're going to be talking about Ikigai? I don't know how to say it, sorry. Clarity, harmony, and purpose in the hyperconnected world. And it's great to also have you with us as well, Anish. So please, if you could introduce yourself to everybody. And I'm really excited to be speaking with you in this fireside chat today.
Thank you so much, Russell. Am I audible? I hope.
Yes, you are. Loud and clear.
Yeah, great. So, Russell, thank you for having me, and thank you, GatherVerse, for this opportunity to have a sort of heart-to-heart chat with regards to something which I really love, and it is called as Ikigai. Ikigai is basically a Japanese word, and it comes from a village called as, the entire concept comes from the village, a small island, Okinawa in Japan. And the whole idea of, if we break down Ikigai, Iki is basically life, and Kai is worth. So your life's worth, or why should I even get up in the morning out of bed? Why? What is the reason for being? Simple as that. So
Okay.
Ikigai is just something which is very close to my heart, and I'm here to share my thoughts, and feel free to ask me questions around it, and I will be more than happy to answer.
Oh, we have plenty of questions. Don't you worry about that. Let's start with one, which is obviously Ikigai is very interesting to me. This is a very interesting term. So tell us, what does Ikigai mean to you, and how did you even find it in the first place? I'm curious to maybe hear just like a little bit of a background to it kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So as I mentioned, Ikigai is a Japanese word, and the whole idea of finding your Ikigai is all about you want to do something which brings you in a state of flow. So let me just put it that way. Okay, so anything which makes you in a state of flow, where time dilates, where you lose track of whatever else is going around you, and you're simply engrossed in that activity. It could be anything. It could be dancing. It could be cooking. It could be doing a speech. It could be anything. Anything which puts you in a state of flow, and that is basically what Ikigai to me is. It also means to me, in terms of joy, the word is joy, I would say. It brings you in a joyful state. Now, joy for me is a slightly higher version of happiness, I would say. Perpetual happiness is what I consider as joy. So it's not that you are jumping all around, oh, I'm so excited. No, it's not like that. It's very subtle. But somewhere inside you, you feel very settled, very content, very, very blissful in a way. So for me, it is like a joyful state. For me, it's more like putting you into a state of flow.
Putting you in a state of flow, and then I would say basically like you sort of like, you don't get the highs of the highs, but you also don't get the low of the lows. It's kind of like a state of flow that you're always in, and allows you to focus on whatever you need to focus on and be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve, so to speak, or whatever your goal is, or whatever you want to do, kind of thing. So in a hyper-connected world like we have, we have social media, we have VR, we have AI, we have many different aspects which come into this. How do you stay in this state of flow, like the Ikigai, and how do you I wouldn't say battle against that, but kind of like stay within the boundaries of the flow state, so to speak?
So, Russell, let me just share a bit about my background, because it will just give the context of why I'm into this path and why I really love Ikigai, and why I'm so much eager to help people find their Ikigai. So it's about 20 years back. I just got my CA degree. I completed my CA program from India, and I was about to move to Australia. I was planning to do my MBA in accounting and finance in Australia. But I was lost in terms of my career direction. I was not very sure like what path I should be taking, what sort of career.
Mhm.
Even if I got a qualified degree, the natural path would be to get into an accounting field, become a CA, practicing chartered accountant, or get into a job. Um, but somewhere I felt very lost, confused, irritated, frustrated, and I changed about 6 jobs in a span of 9 months when I was starting off my career. And
Sounds like me.
and I actually went to a lot of self-discovery mode. So I went into a lot of meditation program. I wanted to figure out like basically what it is. It's not just ticking the boxes, just ticking the checklist and okay, complete this. And it felt very monotonous to me. So I went into this self-discovery mode, and I went through a lot of meditation program. And sometimes what happens is like 20 years back, I didn't even know the word Ikigai. I didn't even understand what that word meant. And sometimes what happens is you're trying to figure out what is your ideal path, or what God has designed for you. In a way, you're trying to figure it out. But sometimes your Ikigai is finding you.
Mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
sometimes you are chasing your purpose, but sometimes your purpose is chasing you. Okay.
Okay.
And in my case, what happened is a stranger came into my life, and I was teaching her accounting because that is what my background was. And I was teaching accounting to an engineering student. And she said something very dramatic, in like spontaneously, she said something to me that, Anish, wow, you have got a knack to simplify and inspire. Simplify the complex and inspire someone like me who don't understand accounting. So simplification and inspiration, or simplify and inspire people, became the two sort of legs of whatever I do, like whatever sort of training programs which I run. It became my sort of an ikigai, to simplify things and to help people, inspire people to lead a beautiful life.
Interesting.
So yeah, so to answer your question, like in this sort of a world which we are living, AI driven world, and people are always chasing the next thing. They are just moving from. There's a lot of things which are going on in their mind. I would say that, is there something which pulls you towards designing your life, or are you pushing yourself by living by default? So that is the main question which I want to put it across, that is there something which pulls you to lead a beautiful life and design it step by step, or you are simply pushing your life day in day out, 9 to 5, 9 to 7, whatever it is, just do the
Mhm,
same
mhm,
thing
mhm.
again and again. There are a few other things which I strongly suggest people can, which work really well for me, is listening to strangers. Instead of simply like initiating a talk, interacting with strangers, sometimes they will give you certain insights. They will give you certain wisdom which you don't even know you have it in you, and they don't have any interest in your life. Okay, they are strangers, right? So they don't have any interest in your life, but they will say something spontaneous, and if you take it as a sponge, if you just let it sink in, it might be the most beautiful thing which might have happened in your life. So in my case, it was that girl who simply said, simplify and inspire, these are the two main things which you are really good at. So when you
Okay.
listen to strangers, when you travel, I love travel. When you travel,
Well,
you
I, I,
just
I actually have a question, Anish.
yeah.
What is like, because obviously, uh, when you're talking about strangers and people and talking to people, do you find that when you're speaking to people, do they have like a big misconception on when they think about happiness or purpose or anything like that? Like, do you
Mm,
think a lot of people have that big misconception from
mm.
your point of view?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest misconception which I've I've heard people saying is that it's very hard. It's hard to figure out your own purpose. You have to go to the mountains. You have to be in solitude. You have to, just figure it out. It's very challenging to leave the world behind and simply just go and figure out your own purpose in life.
Mm.
But it's not the case. As I said, like sometimes you don't even know that you're finding it out, and it just comes naturally in your life. So it's all about being patient. It's all about loosely focused on your purpose. Don't try to chase your purpose. It will never come. Let it happen naturally. But you have
Okay.
to focus in a very loosely manner. Okay, so you're focused, but it's very relaxed. It's a relaxed focus, and let it happen. Okay. Another misconception which I personally feel is someone saying, "Oh, I think I found my ikigai, and that's it." It's not the case. It always evolves. So as your life evolves, like 5 years down the line, maybe your ikigai, what you feel today, might be different, because 5 years down the line you have done certain things, you have built your skills in certain area, and you feel that you have found some another love or passion in any other area of your life. So your ikigai is
Mm.
also evolving. Okay, it could be completely different, or it could be more refined. So you say, for example, I'm talking right now, I love to speak about ikigai, but later on, if I feel that apart from ikigai I can actually take people into a deep meditative program, then it is a subset of what I'm doing right now. Okay, so it can be slightly more refined also. So it's like you simply go with the process. You go and follow that process, and it's not that you will only have one ikigai in life. Also, you can have multiple ikigai, but I would say one would be very, very strong, something which is very prominent. Okay,
Right.
so that's the second misconception. And third is, as I've already touched upon before, that we sometimes feel that our family members or our near and dear ones or our friends, they know a lot about us. Okay, and let me ask them, what do you think about me? What should I do? We casually ask people whom we know.
And
But
what did they
surprisingly,
say? What did they say?
so surprisingly, what happens is, they know you so well that they will say, "Oh, you're not good at that. Don't worry about it. Don't do this. Don't do
Okay. Okay.
that." Okay? But strangers, that's where strangers comes, right? They don't know anything. They are
Mhm.
seeing you. They watch you, what you're doing, the way you are speaking, the way you are using your hand gesture. They might just say something to you, and the penny just drops. Okay,
Mm.
so it's a matter of listening, keeping your senses open, okay, all the time. I also say stay close to nature. That is also a very good way of understanding. Just being close to the nature just helps you figure out a few things about yourself, because in a way we are also made of the five elements. And if you try and basically just connect with nature, it will also help you. So these are two or three misconceptions usually which
Yeah.
I've heard from people. Yes.
That's very interesting. I mean, one of my friends also says, you have two ears and one mouth for a reason as well. So, it's to your point. But I want to understand what practices bring calm and harmony to people in a constantly evolving world. I mean, we touched upon it briefly, just a minute ago, but I kind of want to, talk about the sort of the calm side of that. Like, how do you, like, with all this dopamine hits from social media and AI constantly wanting you to go, oh, do you want me to do this for you, do you want me to do that for you, do you want me to do this for you, how do we stay practice that and constantly stay in a state of flow, as you like to say?
Again, a very good question, Russell. So again, I will just answer it in a very simple manner, and something which I usually follow day in and day out. Two things. One is travel in, and second is travel out.
Okay.
So yeah, so travel out is basically just go and explore the world, as 195 countries, right? See the world. It might just help you. You might just interact with someone. You might just see something. You might say, "Oh, maybe I'm really good at. I really love art. I should get into." It will just open up your brains like anything. When
Mm-hmm.
you're
Mm-hmm.
out of your comfort zone, you know what they say about comfort zone, that there is no growth in your comfort zone, and there is no comfort in your growth zone. So when you go out of your comfort zone, when you go out of your own, city, state, country, and then go out and just live. I do a lot of solo travel, so it helps you in a lot of ways. So travel outside, and then travel in, which is all about meditation. You pick any meditation, doesn't matter. It could be in a dance form, it could be in a mantra form, it could be something like just doing yoga and then just doing some sort of a meditation, chanting. It could be any form of meditation. It will help you, silence the chaos inside and just build some clarity. And what happens is, it's funny that the most the biggest challenge is how you can simplify complicated stuff, and it's very complicated to simplify things. Okay, so if you're able to simplify complex thing, and it will only come once there is a lot of clarity inside, once there is a lot of stillness inside. And meditation really helps you. I mean, I've designed my own meditation program, which I teach to a lot of people. But it's any meditation form. Okay, any form of meditation will really help you in terms of bringing calm and harmony in your life.
I can speak personally from meditation experience, and it does align you very well. It is a great form of not only keep you in line, but also allowing you to focus on what you want to focus on for the day. Even if you do it for 5 minutes, it still just generally helps in general. I'm not sure about the Ikigai side, but I could just say from that sort of limited experience that I have. So one last question, because we're running out of time, and I want to finish on this. What do you advise anyone who's getting into Ikigai, or wants to understand more about Ikigai, or even just general life advice you want to share with people before we finish the fireside chat? What's one last thing you'd like to advise people before we finish things up, basically, in a nutshell?
So there are two things which I would just, if I have to again just summarize, there are two things. One is obviously live by design, not by default. Okay. And second is you start listening more to your heart and silence your head. The more you listen to your heart, because heart is the very first, whenever you're trying to do something good or bad, your heart gives you a signal. Okay. And the more you listen to your heart, it just keep giving you those nudges. Okay, if you silence your heart, then your head overpowers you, and then it might not be the right path. It might look right in the short term, but in the long term, it might not be the right path. So listen more to your heart, silence your head, and live by design, not by default.
Well, Anish, thank you so much for joining us on this fireside chat. And also, quickly, where can people find you? Can they find you on your LinkedIn, or where can people find you, connect with you?
Yes, so I'm very much active on LinkedIn, and trainmybrain.in is my website. I'm more than happy to speak to as many people as possible. No issues. My pleasure.
Well, that's it for the fireside chat. Thank you, Anish, for joining. And up next, we have a roundtable discussion, and it's going to be a very interesting discussion. So stay with us, and I'll see you very shortly.
Thanks
see you later. Gabber as well.